Hello, my name is Darius Chinoy. I'm a part-time actor, full-time overthinker, and a proud graduate of the University of What the Hell is Going On. While most people in India watch garbage like Republic TV, News 18 India, Times Now, who are flag bearers of sensationalism over substance, I pause, not because I care more, but because I enjoy spotting hypocrisy like Dharamji's kutta. And I do this without a journalism degree. Welcome to Uncommon Sense, a slightly unhinged, moderately caffeinated series where I take the tangled spaghetti of global politics, twirl it on a fork of satire, and serve it to you with a generous side of sarcasm. Let me be clear, I'm not here to solve world peace. I'd settle for figuring out why countries fight over borders and then outsource their missiles to each other. Every episode going forth will tackle a different absurdity, and they are rampant in the 21st century. So whether it's nations co-playing as peacemakers while selling arms and ammunition, or champions of democracy who blacklist journalists like expired SIM cards. So buckle up, my friends. Bring your logic, leave your loyalty at the door, and prepare to be equal opportunity offended. Because this isn't Arnab Goswami's breaking news. It's uncommon sense. Now let's begin with the geopolitics of hypocrisy. A equals E. Confused? Let me simplify for you. If international relations followed basic math, the world would be a beautifully boring place. Now let's apply the old formula. If A equals B and B equals C and C equals D and D equals E, then A equals E, right? But in geopolitics, A might shake hands with B, bomb C, hug D, and kiss E, and still win a peace prize. Now let's test this with a few countries around us. Let's say A is Israel, B is the US, C Pakistan, D China, E Russia, and let's sprinkle in F as India, G Saudi Arabia, H Iran, I North Korea, J Palestine, K as Qatar, and L as UAE. Now let's track this. Israel is the closest ally of the US. They have each other on speed dial and probably share Pornhub account passwords. The US gives billions in aid to Pakistan. And this is despite knowing Pakistan is a guest house for strategic assets like the Taliban and retired warlords and senior terror consultants. Pakistan offers the best holiday packages for their terror tourists. Pakistan, they love China. Iron brothers, they call it. China, on the other hand, reminds me of my local butcher who specializes in salami tactics. China funds Pakistan, builds their roads, their cities, their infrastructure, and even builds the toilets in the terror camps. China is chuddy-buddy with Russia. You know, the vodka guys, currently in a fist fight with Ukraine. And Russia, despite this brawl, supplies discounted oil to us here in India, who is also flirting with Israel, currently dating America, and occasionally saying Kabul hai, Kabul hai, Kabul hai to Iran. Now let's add Saudi Arabia, the land of oil, mosques, and questionable human rights. They fund Wahhabism. They do this globally, behead people publicly, and yet they host G20 summits in climate-controlled five-star palaces. The US condemns authoritarian regimes, but sends weapons to Riyadh worth billions of dollars. Why? Because when you sit on a barrel of oil, democracy, my friends, becomes a suggestion, not a requirement. But wait, Saudi Arabia and Israel don't officially recognize each other. Yet, both secretly agree on hating Iran. and both are unofficially coordinating security strategies in the region. They remind me of two uncles in my family, paternal side and maternal side, who nod politely at all the Parsi weddings, but never make eye contact. Now let's bring in Qatar, that tiny peninsula with a giant mouthpiece, Al Jazeera. They support Palestine vocally, but also host American air bases. They criticize Israel on prime time, but share business ties discreetly. So you tell me, is that integrity or double buffering? And then there's UAE. They sign the Abraham Accords with Israel. They get applauded for normalizing relations, but backdoor fund projects in Egypt and Sudan that clash with both Western and Eastern interests. It's like attending every wedding on the same day and eating at every buffet. Now let's not ignore that hermit king, North Korea. Everyone hates North Korea. But North Korea sells missile technology to Iran, trades with China, and gets cozy with Russia behind a bush. Kim Jong-un. This gentleman is banned from traveling almost everywhere. And yet somehow he finds the time to send Valentine cards to Vladimir Putin. And in the middle of all of this, Palestine bleeds, with half the world claiming to support them. But when it's time for real action, it's always, we condemn this violence deeply. Here's a strongly worded tweet coming from all the leaders of these countries. Then they sell arms and ammunition to the other side and call it balanced diplomacy. Now tell me, is this international relations or a poorly written soap opera by Balaji Telefilms? We talk about global alliances as if they are sacred. NATO, BRICS, G7, OIC. Half the time they meet, take selfies, issue statements, and go back to arming opposite sides of the same bloody war. So here's your uncommon sense takeaway. If A equals B and B equals C, but C funds D, who bombs E, who sells oil to A, then logic is no longer applicable here. It's not foreign policy, my friends. It's foreign posturing, dressed up in flags and hypocrisy. So when someone tells you diplomacy is about values, truth, and justice, ask them, is that before or after the weapons deal? That's not common sense. Please like, subscribe, and comment for this channel. I'm curious to see how this old 2009 YouTube account of mine grows. Cheers, no fears. Jai Hind.